The Supreme Court of the United States just gave ICE the ability to detain people for speaking the wrong language. 300 Korean nationals, many of whom it appears were here legally, were shackled and detained in the single largest ICE raid in history with zero diplomatic notice given to South Korea. The president is sending the National Guard to Chicago, where my parents live. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to create food content during these times. So if you feel tired and scared, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I'm gonna tell you a story. A story I basically just want to tell myself right now to make myself feel a little safer. It starts out kind of not great, but stick around. You'll be glad you did. I was in a not great relationship, which many of you know. One my mother was aware of pretty much from the get-go. My mom is pretty much the strongest woman I've ever known, and for much of my life, I wished I could be half the woman she was, never more so when I showed up at her doorstep crying again because of something that happened in my marriage again. It was so embarrassing, especially when she asked me, "Why do you stay?" And I never had a good answer. Finally, one night, I showed up at her doorstep at 3 a.m, sobbing, shaking, holding my dog. She let me in again. And the first words out of my mouth were, "I need to get a divorce." I was kneeling on her kitchen floor, crying so hard, and she got down on the floor with me and asked me, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes, I'm totally sure." And then she waited for a few seconds before she said, "Good. Because if he ever shows his face here, I'm going to beat the shit out of him." That is my mother. And on days like today, I think about that story because I need to know I have a badass woman in my corner who will always fight for me.